Well, so as you can see, our little outing that we tried to do earlier, we went out to the Stadium Boulevard. You know, we had the compass. And, as you can see, our little outing, I filled that up. That only took me like probably about 20 minutes of walking out to that hilltop. So we yielded that. We got some scrap metal, you know, just by casually just walking. You know, if I would have spent more time, you know, just doing that, I mean, but as you know, as you're traveling around, doing a little, you know, I guess, surveying and trying to, you know, provide for yourself some kind of a, you know, intentional outing just to go see what's going on and accommodate yourself for supplies. Don't get lost in the destination. Usually the whole point of traveling, trekking, doing a little mountain biking, hiking, you know, is to actually, the journey is what supplies you. A lot of the folks I see riding through here in their cars and trucks and whatever at 90 miles an hour, they're missing the whole point of transportation. They're just going from one point to another, but the distance in between is actually kind of what gets you your gear. You know, get your supplies, get your, you know, you get to see the, look around, see the place. And, well, while we travel around and look at the sights like you seen behind me earlier, you know, the mountainside and all that, and even though there was some highway there, but, a lot of times I don't really use these. I mean, this comes in handy. To be quite honest with you, yeah, it can be useful, but I just get lost, you know, and I just try to find something of value that nobody wants and uses. And as you can see, we got the Trek or Treat here. We got it running, and finally got it dialed in, and you know, the buckets are working out pretty well on the bike. And that's pretty much how I got it set up. So just some casual riding around, and well, like I said, I'll give you some map viewing. That's really how I kind of did in the first place. Was I looked at a basic map of the area. I kind of knew I wanted to come to Columbia because it's a college town. It's got ward districts and things like that. And most of the time when you run into that kind of situation where there's a football stadium or something of that nature, and it's in the middle of the United States in a very, you know, on all the major highways from north to south to east to west in United, you know, on the North American continent, you're going to run into a lot of excess of, you know, debris and stuff. So I figured that would be probably a good strategy point for me to kind of branch out. And I'll show you how I got the map laid out here in a minute, okay? So just stay tuned. Gleaning Road, Roman No. Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Lemon Row here. Lemon Row here, the Roman Gnome. We're out here, here in beautiful God's Garden called the Ozarks. Out here today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, doing a little, what we like to say, can trolling. Testing out our new Brunton 60-meter compass that we got from the state of Missouri. Thank you. Thought I'd come out here and, well, we can go over a few things. Kind kind of help us along our little journey of keeping Missouri beautiful. And this series right here basically is kind of how to use navigation or find your way around. We got terrain association. Basically just kind of sticking around where you're at, you know, and surveying a little bit. In today's modern society, especially if you're near a town or a city, they have, you know, roads. And you know how we do it. We like to do a lot of can trolling and picking up road debris and things like that. To kind of, well, to kind of help ends meet. Find things, you know, keep it interesting. I get bored real easy, so I like to keep it fresh. And I like to do a little adventuring. So this seems to acquiesce my, you know, small amounts of interests. My ADD problem, I guess you want to call it. Anyhow, as you can see next to me, we're near Stadium Boulevard here in what they call Columbia. Originally it's called Smithton, but the problem is there's a bunch of Smiths that live here, so which one? I mean, there's several Smithtons, and that could be confusing. So how do you know where you're at? Well, you can use a compass. When I first started this, I didn't use one of these. I just kind of looked around and headed to whatever I needed. You know, water, freedom, maybe a little bit of interest, some sightseeing. I like the woods, I like the mountains. So this kind of seemed to fill all those needs. And I like swimming and, you know, looking at nature. So coming to the Ozarks to me was a good decision, even though other people don't think so. But I'd like to cover, basically during this series of videos, about trying to do what you can to stay busy, you know, have a job basically, and fulfill all those needs of interest, like traveling, if you like, you know, camping, trekking around, riding your mountain bike, you know, like me. I really enjoy the mountain bike thing. I get a lot of flack from people that think I'm childish because I ride a bike, but hey, I don't have to worry about all that. But as you can see here, we have this compass. I got my pace beads on here, and these do come in handy if you're trying to actually locate things, but I haven't really got to use them very well. And I don't think I really will need them, but I have them on here just in case nobody else knows what these are. These are pace beads. Pace beads. See, you got 9 here, and you're supposed to have 4 here, and these represent a kilometer. But I have an extra one on there because, well, just in case, you know, you lose one or break one or something. But I originally was going to put 10 here, and 5 here, but somehow it's in 10s, right? But I didn't find that necessary. But this compass they sent me from the Missouri, state of Missouri. They thought it would help me. I've got some other things. I got some other things that the state's sending me. Probably tomorrow I'm getting a tent. There's a really nice letter involved with that. And then I'm also getting I tried out a new light for my bike. It's pretty expensive, but it didn't work. And so we'll review that too. But I thought I'd go over some basic things of, you know, what compasses do. They pretty much, the needles, well, see how I spilled the camera, the wind was blowing real bad. We'll go back over this one more time. Okay. This is a Brunton 60-meter compass. Like I said, when we got it out of the box, we're going to basically, these are pace beads. Each one of these represents a meter. Okay, that's 67 paces, about 3 feet. average, okay? So we'll go over that. 67 paces average, 3 foot a pace, okay? I guess you would call that a stride. When you go 67 of them, you pull one of these down. That's walking. We're on a bike, so this would come in handy for, you know, searching for things on a map, how far. You pull 9 of these down. When you get to the 10th one, you pull a bead. That was the problem with me. I was like, why isn't there 10 beads on here? You go 10, then that would be a kilometer, okay? But when you get to the 10th one, you pull this down. So they just use 9. It didn't make sense to me, but, you know, 9 and 4. I put an extra one on there because I'd probably want to put 10 on here just in case. And I'm like, okay, now I'm here. Okay, but they use 9 and they've used 4 at the top. But basically, this compass right here is not really designed for a lot of outdoor use. It has a meter, inch, and metric millimeter ruling gauge on here, and it's reversible. I didn't really find that to my benefit because of the fact that this comes off. It could be handy, you know, like I said, if you're in more of a controlled environment. I don't really do a lot of work in that environment, so I wasn't really expecting this. First of all, then second of all, it's blue. I'm not really a big fan of blue. It's kind of hard to open because of the lanyard hole. And it was supposed to come in paste beads. I thought it did. It didn't. It came with a blue lanyard. I took that off. Actually, I broke it right the first day I had it. It does come with, you know, you have your mirror, which is used to actually, so you can look at this way or this way when you're trying to actually look through the actual guide right here. The little doghouse, whatever you want to call that. I just call that the sighting. My sighting hole. That's where the sight is. Okay. It doesn't come with a doghouse. It usually has 2 arrows in here or something. It comes with what they call it's just redded. See where it's red right there? And then it has this loop, and you're supposed to, that would be your north. So wherever magnetic north is, that's where this is going to have to end up at. It has got degrees on it. It does rotate, and it does come with an inclinometer. If you can tell right off the bat, though, it's blue. It's in blue lettering, and the inclinometer is blue. If you can see in there, there's an inclinometer. That's for degrees of pitch. In order to use the inclinometer, you do have to put on 270 degrees. 270 degrees for it to be at 0, which is ground level this way. And then you have to use the mirror to slide it in there. See right there? Okay. It does come with a magnifying glass. And this can be set. You can move this around. But I didn't really like it that well because of the fact it's in blue. Great. Here comes the ambulance. But in order to use this, you would line this up with whatever your object is, say that tree over there, and then you would tilt it. But it has to be at west. So basically this doesn't have north, south, east, and west on it. It just has north, and then you have to figure out where west is. If you don't know that, it would be 270 degrees. So it has to be on west, say. And then you would look at the angle of the object that you're looking at, and from over here, I believe, I did this before the camera fell over, this would be, I think it was 15 degrees. So you can see that, then you would pop the mirror over like that. And then you could look in here, in the reflection of the mirror, to see the inclinometer's actual increments of measure. So, and yeah, it came with a mirror, which is used for that. Being able to see in here when you're standing up or something. It's also used to be able to send signals to somebody, say across the gorge over there. There's a gorge right here. And for somebody over here, I would take this reflection and I would bend the mirror, and that would give me a signal to somebody across the way. And you can also use this, you know, in case you get injured or something. Yeah, you can see in there. Majority of the time, though, in the mirror, there's going to be a slot right here in the housing, so you can see through it. This didn't come with that. As you can tell, the sighting hole is right here. The cover does that. That's kind of annoying. The lanyard hole is a big pain because when you go to shut it, you got to really get on it to open it up. It's actually loosened up since I first had it, but I broke the lanyard right off the bat, and I added this because, well, I have to have this. And yeah, for the money that supposedly this costs, I wasn't really thinking you would be happy with it. And when you're using this and trying to hang on to it, the ruler wants to slide off. So you could possibly, there's a good chance you're going to lose that in the field. They should just had all that road on there. I wouldn't even wasted my time with flipping this over, you know, all that. I'm probably going to end up gluing this on. Just super glue it on there so it doesn't come off, because I'm going to lose that. I've already lost it once. It came off. Watch. You just try to grab this. You try to pull your pace. See, it comes right off. You try to pull your pace bead, it slides right off. So that's not a good sign. I'm going to lose that right off the bat if I use this in the field. But as basically a map compass, just casually in your pouch or whatever, you don't use it much. You know, just basically for office work, yeah, that might work. But as far as what I do, I wouldn't be able to use it. Yeah, there we go with that again. So, I hope this covers our little excerpt of real quick on how to use a compass and what to do with your time when you're in Missouri, or a few simple ways of enjoying the environment and having a little bit of a job to do. But as we go along a little bit further, I'm going to use this compass, but we're going to show you how to use a map a little bit and basically navigate your route. And I probably need to work on how to use a camera. In windy situations. The camera keeps falling over. So without further ado, okay, well that about covers it for me. Right now. I just want to go over some basics for the compass that we've been using, and some typical, what these are, pace beads. And we're going to go over some mapping and things like that, navigation, especially when you're doing like salvage and reclamation, or you just want to travel around a little bit and, you know, scour the area. But remember, we also do this for, you know, basically kind of a means of support and cleaning up the community a little bit, keeping Missouri beautiful. And we're going to use a map a little bit and show you what trails we've covered, how often maybe we should go back. If it was a good spot, let's make notes, you know, or keep that in mind, and show a pretty good route so we can stay consistent, stay somewhat traveling and busy, and, you know, keep some kind of repetitive, customary business going for ourselves and moving around. And then we'll actually look at some of the maps, and we can, like, you know, make notes of, hey, this was a good spot, I should come back here. How many, every so often, every couple of weeks? And, like for instance, this area right here, I haven't been here since last year, but they have a highway cleanup crew that comes through here. And, well, I was only down here for about 45 minutes, and I made a couple bucks, you know, worth of scrap. And I like the area, it's beautiful, so I thought I'd do a little video footage of here, and we go over the compass. Oh, and this is my water bottle, by the way. I drink about 2 of these a day. So, yeah, and that's the other thing, staying hydrated, especially in hot weather. And don't just drink water. Put some kind of a plant material in this. And stay away from coffee and a lot of, basically like quick sugars like fructose corn syrup and, plantation white and all that other stuff. And you probably will do okay. But anyhow, I'm Gleaning. I guess I'll see you later on. We'll do some more footage and go over a little bit more of how to map things out a little bit, and just, how to use some of these tools. I mean, this is kind of a useful item. I don't see myself using this like all the time, because I didn't really use one of these until maybe a couple of years ago, and I didn't get one of these. I got basically a general direction compass, which just shows you north, south, east, and west, which is really all I need. But for what I do, and a basic little map that I drew, or a survey map of the area that somebody gave me from the Department of Tourism or something. But anyhow, I'm Gleaning, the Roman Gnome, and I hope this was informative or useful. And I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Any questions or comments or suggestions or addendums, whatever you want to call them, yeah, go ahead and leave a comment. But as far as the comp is concerned, this is all right. There's just some problems with it. I don't really think will be beneficial to what we're doing. So anyhow, I'll see you later.